Have you ever looked at the currency exchange rates and just your head starts spinning? It feels like this giant confusing puzzle, right? Well, today we're going to pull back that curtain and figure out what is really going on.
I mean, think about it. Why is one single US dollar worth like 100 Japanese yen? The number seems so completely out of whack. So what's actually behind that massive difference?
And then, just to make things crazier, you see the complete opposite. A single Kuwaiti dinar is worth more than 3 US dollars. It feels like these relationships just go in every possible direction, which, it leads you to ask a much bigger question.
Does a higher value currency mean that a country is stronger, or richer, or just, better? The short answer? Nope, not at all. And the real reason why is way more fascinating than simple bragging rights.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to break down a massive misconception, one that almost all of us have at some point. It's what I call the illusion of value.
Think about it like this. Is 1 meter somehow stronger or better than 100 centimeters? Of course not, right? They're the exact same length, just measured differently.
And that is the key takeaway here. Currencies are just different units, different rulers, basically, for measuring value in the same global system. So just because a country's currency has a bunch of zeros on it doesn't mean it's weak. It just means they're using, centimeters instead of meters.
So if the number on the bill doesn't matter, what does? What actually makes a currency strong? Well, this is where we get into the real invisible forces that shape everything. And we're going to start with one I like to call the gravity of demand.
At the end of the day, a currency really just acts like a product. That's it. If tons of people and countries want to get their hands on it, its value gets pulled upward. And if nobody wants it, its value drops. It really is that simple.
Let's take the US dollar. It's in crazy high demand all over the world, right? That's because it's the main currency for global trade, oil is bought and sold in dollars, and pretty much every central bank on the planet keeps a stash of them in reserve. All of that creates this constant, powerful gravitational pull on its value.
But look, demand isn't just about practical stuff. It's also about something much more human: trust, confidence. Investors are always asking, is this country stable? Is its economy on the up and up? That trust, that's what really translates into strength, because money will always flow towards what feels safe.
So, on top of that pull of demand, you've got this other huge force, the pressure of policy. The decisions that governments and their central banks make can totally squeeze or inflate a currency's value, almost overnight.
And one of the biggest pressures you can imagine is inflation. It's like a devastating chain reaction. A country just starts printing way too much money, and it floods their whole system. And just like that, the value of every single bill starts to evaporate into thin air. Prices shoot up, confidence just tanks, and the currency completely collapses.
Then you have another tool in the toolbox: interest rates. Central banks can crank up their interest rates, and what that does is it basically offers a better deal for anyone who saves money in their country. And this acts like a giant magnet, pulling in investment from all over the world. And what happens when investment flows in? Demand for that currency goes up, and it gets stronger.
It's the exact same idea with trade. Think about a country like Kuwait, which exports a ton of oil. Well, if you want to buy that oil, you've got to get your hands on their currency, the dinar, to pay for it. So the more stuff you sell to the rest of the world, the more the world needs your money. And that demand pushes its value right up.
So, we've talked about gravity, pressure, even magnets, but all of these incredible forces, they all rest on one single powerful foundation, and that is simply the power of belief.
See, a currency's value, it's not some kind of scoreboard for how great a country is. It's more like a live dashboard. It's measuring trust, stability, the raw forces of supply and demand, and whether a country's economic policies make any sense. And get this, sometimes a country wants its currency to be cheaper. Why? Because it makes their exports more attractive to the rest of the world. It's all strategy. It's got nothing to do with national pride.
And all of this leads us to what is maybe the most important point of all. That piece of paper or that coin in your pocket, on its own, it's pretty much worthless. The only reason it has any power at all is because we've all agreed that it does. It's a collective belief.
So when you really think about it, that exchange rate isn't just some random number on a screen. It's a live, real-time, global vote of confidence. It is a direct reflection of how much the world trusts that